All right, welcome to the great New York State Fair. My name is Sergeant Neil Case. I am the Underwater Recovery Team Division Diving Officer. I work out of our headquarters in Albany. Before we get started, I want to introduce the rest of my crew. Coming up behind the tank, first is going to be my training coordinator. Works for me out of headquarters in Albany, Trooper Josh Cross. Next up is going to be the Troop D Assistant Senior Diver, Trooper Jared Hogan. And last but not least, the Troop D Senior Diver, Greg Eberl. All right, and the host of your show is the Troop C Senior Diver, man of many talents, Trooper Seth Little.
Oh wait, you're not here to see Kate, I'm here to see Scuba! Welcome to New York! How are we doing today? Alright, my name is Seth Little, and I am the Troop C Senior Diver. And as these guys are getting ready to go into the tank, I'm going to give you a little history of the New York State Police dive team. We were formed in 1932. That makes us the oldest, and we are also the largest public safety dive team in the United States. It's New York, right? New York, great. So in 1932, we dove with a hard helmet. We had canvas suit. We had lead weights on our shoes. We had them on our belt. Altogether, the equipment weighed well over 100 pounds. But troopers do what they do best. They volunteered. Some of the guys that came out of the Navy volunteered to go for a dive to find some evidence. And with that equipment, they went in and they got the job done. Now, in 1943, there was a smart fellow by the name of Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau invented the aqualung. The aqualung is what we commonly refer to as scuba. Who knows what scuba is? Anybody? It's an acronym. What is it? Absolutely, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, okay? And so that took 100 pounds of equipment and it condensed it down to about 40 pounds or so. People were able to move through the water a little bit more freely. Now, at the speed of Albany, in 1957, we decided to adopt this new technology of scuba. And so the New York State Police in 1958 wanted to learn from the best. And so we sent the diving people from our division and we sent them down to New Jersey to learn from the Navy. There they adopted their techniques, they adopted their lessons, they brought them back. We formed our own novice dive school, and though I say novice dive school, it is very advanced, and we'll get more into that, okay? In order to get where these guys are, there were 45 people in our last class that started out. Only 15 graduated, okay? So it is not easy. Let's give these guys a hand for making it through. Now, we want to bring the kids forward. Do the kids want to sit in front of the tank?
Come on, kids, come right on up. Come on up close to the divers.
Come on, you can come over the rope, it's okay, or go around the rope. Just don't trip over the rope. That's all I ask.
All right, Seth, while the kids are running up there,
Yeah.
before we get these divers in, they're going to need a countdown.
We're going to need a countdown. Now, I know it's a little warm, but can I get energy from the crowd today?
All right, not bad.
I like it. I like the vibe. Okay, so you guys are ready to go into the water, right? We're going to count down. 3, 2, 1, go. So, here we are. Go.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hey guys.
Yeah.
What happened?
We're divers, we don't hear so well.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little weak. I mean, when I asked you guys if you were into this, it was a little bit stronger. Are you ready? Yeah! Do you want to see divers in the water? Yeah! All right, go!
3, 2, 1,
All right, off they go. Now, they're in the water, and the first thing that you'll notice is they are not rising up to the top really fast. They're not sinking down to the bottom really fast. They're doing what we call practicing neutral buoyancy. Neutral buoyancy allows them to move through the water a lot easier. I know it looks easy, but believe it or not, it's an advanced learning process to know how to do that. These guys, they have fins on the back of their feet there. Those fins allow them to propel themselves through the water. Those fins are attached to their booties, which is part of the wetsuit. The wetsuit provides just a thin layer of water between themselves and the suit, which will warm up and keep them warm if the water is cooler. Okay? Now, we were talking about buoyancy. The thing on the back of their suit right there is a buoyancy controlled device. And you will see flaps. Those flaps are bladders. So, you can introduce air into those flaps from the tank. That will make them rise. Or you can purge air out of a valve and dump the air, and that will make them sink. It is also, that tank has something on the top of it. It's called the first stage. That is the first part of the regulator. That takes 3,000 pounds of PSI and converts it down to 145 pounds, which then sends that air down the line, and it goes into the second stage, the mouth regulator. A lot of people ask if, are you breathing oxygen? No. We're breathing air, just like this. Okay, that's what scuba divers breathe. They breathe air. And so that air goes down that tube into their mouth, provides on demand. So whenever they want to breathe, they just take a breath in, and then they breathe out, just like normal. They have masks on. Those masks, all right, provide a safe layer of air between the lens and their eyeballs, and because it's just a little bit farther out from their head, all right, it also makes things look 33% larger and 25% closer, okay? So these guys both won the Little Fellow Awards out of the dive school, but when they're looking at each other in their masks, they look pretty big. They look pretty big.
So they're going to look like a regular size
trooper. Regular size trooper, that's right. Now, we have what are you? Mixed martial arts, right, Josh? He's a mixed martial arts guy. We got a wrestler over there, Jared Hogan. And let's see, who wins the battle of the little fella? All right, masks come off. Now, this is just to demonstrate. Sometimes things happen under the water. Usually it's not an MMA fight, okay? But masks can get ripped off our face. The number one lesson that you learn as a diver is do not panic. Panic is what will hurt divers. So they basically take the mask, they put it back on their face just like they would on the top. How do they get rid of the water? They create a little crack between their upper lip and the mask seal. They blow air out of their nose. That air, where does it go? It goes up, right, in the water. And so that air then will push the water out of their mask, displaces it. They just reseal the mask, and they're good to go. Other things that can happen. Again, I know I said it was a novice school, but we are advanced divers. We dive down to depths of 132 feet before we graduate the dive school. You might ask me, what is 132 feet?
What is 132 feet?
Sounds like only a couple of you want to know. What is 132 feet? Go ahead, ask again. All right. So 132 feet, kids, if you look at the top of this tower, you know how tall that is? That is 60 feet tall. So 132 feet, you add another tower and another 12 feet on top of that. That's how deep we're going under the water, okay? Things can happen down there because of pressure. Sometimes equipment, it will fail. We've had people run out of air or their regulators will all of a sudden something will fail. At 132 feet, you're diving with somebody. You're diving with your dive buddy. So what happens if we run out of air? Jared Hogan is going to demonstrate here. He's getting his buddy's attention and he's saying, hey, I'm out of air. His buddy comes over, grabs his main regulator, puts it in his mouth. The reason that he maintains the main regulator, he maintains control, is because he's the one that has air. Okay, so he might not be as panicked. So he puts that in his buddy's mouth and makes sure they're okay. He takes a safe second air, and then they go up to the surface safely. Another thing that might happen, the water that we dive in does not look like this, okay? The water that we dive in is river water, pond water, things of that nature, and it looks more like this. All right, I know, ooh, right? But one of the things that people do, for whatever reason, whenever they see a bridge, they think to themselves, you know what, this is a good place to throw like a shopping cart over. Or rebar, or something like that, So a lot of the water that we're swimming in has impediments. Our gear has gotten caught on those before. A rebar, it falls into our little arm bands there or something like that, and it gets caught. We have learned to ditch and don. So they're going to show you how you take your gear off underwater. You can do it safely. The air is in their mouth. They're not freaking out. They're not panicking. And then if they can fix it, they will. If they can't, they will ascend safely to the surface, blowing air out of their mouth, little bubbles, the whole entire way. And there they go. All right. We have also learned how to put our gear on under the water. And we do in school, in the scuba school, we have a race. And so we're going to need another countdown. These guys are very competitive. So, when you say go after a countdown, they're going to go down and see who can put their gear on the fastest. So are you ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here they go. One's swimming in it, the other one's, all right, they're, as soon as one of them taps their head, that means that they're going to, oh, as soon as one of them taps their head, oh, hey, there you go. That means he's good. All right.
Hey, Seth, did you see that waist buckle on Josh?
What did he do? Oh, no, that's not on.
He's not fully
That is
suited.
not on. Come on.
You're just a little fella.
Yeah, no. Sorry, Jared wins. Jared wins. That's good man. All right. Another reason that we might take our gear off underwater is to get small. Okay, we do a lot of penetration dives under the water, whether we're trying to get into a ship or we're trying to get into like sort of a semi type of cave or something like that. We will then take the gear off of our back if it's too big to fit through the hole, and we will just put it right in front of us, and we will swim through that area. And what it's called is making yourself small as a diver. So, Trooper Hogan is going to demonstrate that, being that he won, and he is the great demonstrator. So he's taking his gear off, he's keeping the air in his mouth. He doesn't need to panic because he can breathe. So he's putting the gear in front of him, and all he's doing is just following gear all the way through. Let's give Trooper Hogan a hand again. We're clapping so much. Now, because because Josh crossed there, he didn't quite finish first, which means he finished last. But we're going to have him try and go through this tunnel with all of his gear. Josh, do you think you can make it through that tunnel with all your gear and the DPV?
Yeah, make him go through with the scooter.
With the scooter? All right. That is a DPV, so you need to go through that tunnel. It is a diver propulsion vehicle. That DPV allows us to get to places without using as much energy. We save air. Let's see what he does. All right. Stop. You embarrassed us again.
It was almost as ugly as you getting dressed underwater.
Come on. Oh, you have an idea. He is our training coordinator. He is full of good ideas. Let's see what happens. All right, we're watching. Here he goes, sizing it up. No! And again, he's sort of cutting corners, so we'll give him a hand.
He did it again.
We'll give him a hand. That's good. All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about the bread and butter of what we do. URT stands for Underwater Recovery Team. Our symbol is the octopus. Back of this shirt. If you would like one of these shirts, there are plenty for sale over at the NYST Troopers tent over there. And there's also other merchandise over at the Trooper Foundation on the other side. Well, who doesn't want an octopus shirt, huh? These things are awesome. All right. So, all that to be said, underwater recovery. We have two types of searches that we do underwater. Our motto is, if it's in there, we're going to find it. And just like an octopus, if you've ever seen it move over the ocean floor, it touches everything. And so again, a lot of the water that we're diving in looks like what I showed you on that bottle. And so you need to make sure that you touch everything. And we use a line to make sure that we are on course. And they are setting up a jackstay line right now. That jackstay line is a line that has two weights on either side. It's pulled apart, make tension on the line to make sure it's straight. And if a diver cannot see, he keeps his hand on the line, and then he just moves back and forth, touching the bottom.
Hey Seth, let's throw some evidence in there for him to find.
Oh, okay, we're gonna actually give a demo. All right. So we got some evidence up there, Big E.
Hey, is that your service weapon?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and throw it in.
Yeah, it's all right.
We'll find it, trust me.
That's right. You'll get it back. You'll get it back.
Now this water's too clear.
Yeah.
This isn't realistic.
It's much clearer than what we usually do.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna throw down a mask that's blacked out.
Okay.
And then he's gonna have to search for
So
the dog.
Jared, you hear that? You got the novice dive school mask coming down to you. All right. So what we do in the novice dive school is we will have a Olympic-sized pool, and we will throw all sorts of obstacles in there, and we'll throw in a line, and they have to be able to follow the line through all these obstacles. Yeah, we don't have the obstacles, but we're going to use the mask, which has tape over it, which he cannot see anything. What we know, because we've used this method before, it is tried and true. So once you find that line, go ahead and start your search there, Jared. And here he goes. He's got one hand on the line, and he's got one hand on the floor. Now as he's going back and forth, once he gets to one side, he will move the weight over just a little bit. All right, if you're looking for something small, you move it over just a little bit. And then he's coming back. And as he comes back, there he goes, he found it. Let's give him a hand. Now we have another search that we do, which is called the pendulum. So I need a volunteer from up here. All right, let's see here, the duck bill hat there. This is called the pendulum. Now, who's the adult that you belong to? Yeah, all right, come on over. All right, what's your name? Joy. Very nice. It's a joy to have you here. Bet you never heard that before, huh? All right, so, and your name? Lily. All right, so Lily, we're gonna have you stand out here, okay? Joy, you're gonna help me with this search. It's called the pendulum search. So hold the end of this rope here. Don't let it go. Right there, okay? A pendulum search means you just basically go back and forth on a pendulum. There is a line tender who is on the land, and there is a diver in the water. The diver can't see anything, so he's relying on Lily. So Lily, when I reach a place, Joy, you're Lily. Sorry, Joy. Okay, so when I reach a place where I cannot swim anymore, you need to give 2 tugs on this hard, okay? Can you do that? All right, so I'm swimming, and I'm coming up to the rope. I can't move anymore. What are you gonna do? 1, 2, all right, tug harder than that. 1, 2. This is how a diver communicates with somebody who is on the land if they do not have regular comms. So I'm gonna turn around because of that tug, and I'm gonna come back around. Now I'm going to a place where I can't swim anymore. What are you gonna do? Okay, now, because you told me to turn around, you need to not let go of the rope, but just give me a little bit more rope. Okay, so a little more rope. There you go, very good. She keeps good tension on the line. And so then I swim back the other way, and I run into Lily. And let's give Joy a hand. She did a great job as a line tender. All right, so Joy, we got a prize here for you. You can either choose a water blaster or a beach ball. What would you rather have? A water blaster, okay. Which color? There you go. All right, let's give her a hand. Thank you, Joy. All right, now that we found what we were looking for, we found in the water there a 4-wheeler. So how are we going to get this 4-wheeler out of the water? We are going to use our surface air supply system, which the technical sergeant is over at. I told you that we went away from surface air supply. Well, we have come back in latter years. A lot of times doing a penetration dive or something where there's something over your head, we will use the helmet to protect our heads. We also have a full face mask, but what this surface air supply system does, it allows us constant communication with our diver. It also allows us to provide constant air to our diver. So when he is ready, we're going to have Tech Sergeant Neil Case. He's going to communicate with him.
Outside the diver, comm check.
All right, see, loud and clear.
You can enter the water when you're ready.
All right, and that line that he's connected to is 250 feet long, okay? So there's a lot of air in that line. All right, good job. Right? Yeah, fantastic.
All right, I'll see you guys. guys later.
No, you're not done. You're not. We're supposed to show them how we're going to lift this four-wheeler.
That's part of the deal.
You need to. How are you going to lift the four-wheeler right there? Your muscles? All right, we'll see. You're not as strong as you used to be, but you know, maybe one more time. Yeah, no. You're using too much air.
Got an idea.
You have an idea? All right. So I think I know what his idea is, and there it is. It's a lift bag. This lift bag provides us the ability to make the four-wheeler buoyant. How you become buoyant is you add air. Remember the BC device. Now we have a line going down this line, which is called a pneumo hose. That pneumo hose can provide air
Outside.
Upside down.
so that we can send air to the diver. The diver will fill up that lift bag. Let's see what happens. All right, here comes the bubbles. We want to make sure that we don't introduce too much air at one time into this lift bag because depending on how deep you are, the object will fly up to the surface. It might burp, fall, so we need to be very careful. So it's going up nice and slow. There it is. Let's give Greg a hand. Good job.
Nailed it.
You did nail it. You nailed it. All right. We have our tech sergeant here. Just wants to say a couple words.
So yeah, I just want to take a moment to recognize these guys for what they do every single day. Every single time they go into the water, it's extremely dangerous. And they're going down there to recover drowning victims and locate evidence to close out some cases. So appreciate what these guys do, and if you could please join me in thanking them.
All right. Thank you very much. Right now in the water, we have one of the best posers in the New York State Police. So if you want to come, get your picture taken, or if you want to take a picture with your child up there, go feel free. Other than that, the lovable canines will be next, okay? And my job is done for right now, so I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Enjoy the rest of your day at the great New York State Fair. Thank you.